If you have a shit mindset, you're gonna have a shit business.
I would love to have her as my leader, wouldn't y'all?
You shouldn't wish things were easier. You should wish you were better.
Wow. So now it's your fault because you're not good enough.
Take a picture of the place in your house where you want to put it and tell ChatGPT, put this warmer in this space. Okay? They won't know that it's not at your house, okay?
We will know.
You always want to do the real life photo.
We are now saying that AI generated photos are real life photos. They're simply not. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. It's been a little while since we talked about Scentsy, and since Scentsy family reunion is currently going on in their home office in Idaho, figured what better timing than to talk shit about Scentsy.
I'm so ready for this.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna cover Scentsy family reunion at all, unless something huge comes from it, but I think I've been pretty vocal at the fact that I am so sick and fucking tired of talking about Scentsy.
But why?
I have more to say about other things. I've been trying to shy away from them. Now, I will never abandon them completely. You're welcome, Morville, because they are very problematic still, and they, in my opinion, are still circling the drain, and it's so entertaining to watch. But I'm not probably ever going to cover them again like I used to. But today I have a video from some of our favorite top leaders that put on a monthly training called Big Business Energy, because why not call it that? Thank you to the individual that sent this video my way. Same person that sent the last Mary Kay video where somebody sold their cow. I appreciate you so much for sending me those videos. We're gonna get right the fuck into it. But first, I've got some ASMR. I have a midday pick-me-up. And why not give you guys a little...
Why are you the way that you are?
All right. Sorry. Let's go.
I want to say good night, everybody, but I hope you guys have had a great day. Welcome to Big Business Energy month six. Whitney, Ray, and I are so excited to talk to you guys this month, and just thank you for everyone who is showing up. We see you, we appreciate you, and we are definitely taking note of everybody that's here. And with that being said, I'm going to get started so we can kick this off and value everybody's time. So, just curious, raise your hand or type in the chat. Yeah, don't raise your hand because I don't really know how that works on Zoom, okay? Because I'm just not that educated on that.
Not that educated. It literally shows a hand on their screen. That's it. And it bumps them to the top of the list. Like, it's the easiest way for somebody to let you know they either agree with you or disagree or have something to say. It literally moves their entire face to the top of your screen and shows a hand emoji in the corner. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. The more you know.
If you've ever said that you can't get anybody to buy anything right now, or you're struggling in your sales, I'm just curious. I just want to hear from you guys and see what you guys are saying. Okay? Okay. I might hurt some feelings. And so I love y'all, but I might, okay?
This is awkward as fuck already. This is weird.
Just know that everything I say, it comes from a place of love. And it also comes from a place where a lot of times I'm speaking to myself too. So don't think that anything that I say isn't something that I don't probably need to hear, because I do. And a lot of everything I'm going to say is from a book that I'm reading. And it was because your girl needed to get it together. Okay? And that's why. Okay. Anyway, so a lot of you guys are saying that you are struggling with sales, or maybe your team is, for the people that can't read the chat. All right. Now, mindset. The dictionary defines mindset as a mental attitude or inclination.
What the actual fuck are we doing? These people just admitted that they're having issues with sales. And she's not going to say how many of them have admitted that they and or their team are having issues with sales. But she's going to act like it's their fault because they're in the wrong mindset. It's evident that Scentsy is circling the drain and is overpricing their products. And that is probably, most likely, the biggest issue that people are facing when it comes to trying to sell Scentsy. Nobody outside of the Scentsy culture wants to typically buy Scentsy when they can find the same thing or even better at a less expensive cost. It's not their mindset, like you're about to say, because some self-help book told you that it's your mindset. That's not what's going to fix it. Stop telling people they're broken because the business they bought into is broken. Those two things are different. You're not broken because Scentsy is overpricing their products and making it impossible to succeed in most cases, allegedly, and in my opinion.
It can also be defined as a mood, disposition, inclination, or intention. Okay, that's mindset. Now, mindset is completely and absolutely within your control, and it drives the actions you take and your reactions to the environment and the people around you. Your mindset is the most important thing in this business. Your mindset is everything. If you have a shitty mindset, you're going to have a shitty business. Whoa. I'm just being honest. Your sales are going to be low and you're not going to be doing great.
I would love to have her as my leader. Wouldn't y'all? Have y'all had her as your leader? Because she just seems like a gem. She's just putting the blame on you because you're not successful in Scentsy. When statistics show most people aren't successful in multi-level marketing companies like Scentsy. So it's not somebody's mindset or lack of knowledge or inability to bounce back from a bad month. It's none of those things.
Your mindset is everything, because if you feel like sales are slow, or if you're telling your brain sales are low and sales suck, that you're going to bring it into reality.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Okay? Your mindset is everything. And I am speaking from experience.
It's evident that Scentsy as a whole, their sales have gone way down over the past few years. And I could show you graphs like I'm showing you here on the screen, or a graph to support that theory. So again, if you're watching this and you're a consultant who's being told that your mindset sucks and that's why your sales suck, that's likely far from the truth.
Sometimes it's very hard to fix your own mindset. But mindset is completely within your control. You can't control anybody else, but you can control your mindset. Okay? So that's just how I wanted to set the vibe. Okay? That's the vibe.
Ma'am, is the vibe in the room with us?
We're going to come back to that in a little bit. All right. Now, this is coming from a book that I'm reading. There are bad salespeople. There are mediocre salespeople. There are good salespeople. There are consistent salespeople. And then there are superstar salespeople. Okay. Statistically, researchers, I'm not saying this with Scentsy, so just in general, overall, when people research different companies that are sales driven, like by specific people, the superstars of that company, which is the top 20%, sell 80% of the sales. Statistically, the top 20% produce 80% of the sales. Those are the superstars, and they do it year after year. So the top 20% produce 80% of the sales. I'm not saying that's not that way with Scentsy, but it very well could be. And I do know that the top performers are the ones doing it year over year.
She's just spewing statistics that a book gave her. And I don't think, maybe she did, but I'm pretty sure she did not mention what book she's even talking about. So what does this have to fucking do with Scentsy? Absolutely nothing. The book that she's talking about likely could be about actual, like a sales business, not somebody who bought into a multi-level marketing company and agreed to make a small, tiny percentage from the things they sell or don't sell.
Okay. Those are superstars, and they're doing it year over year, and they're good. They're superstar salespeople. The path to superstar level success is brutally simple.
What is it? I can't wait.
And I know that I've trained on this. Anytime I train, I talk about how this business is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Because it is.
Oh my God. What? Get to the point, lady. It's 5 minutes in and she hasn't gotten to one point. The buildup is just unnecessary.
Simple. It's a paradox of basics. A paradox of basics. Superstars are relentless and they are unstoppable and they do the basics over and over and over again until they're dead. But this is what we're going to talk about. Superstar salespeople are relentless and unstoppable prospectors. What's a prospector? What does it mean to prospect?
Are you going to give us another fucking definition? This is the word. This is proof that these leaders, again, have no clue what they're doing. I'm just thinking back, like, to when I was working in corporate America, when I was working in a hair salon, when I was working in medical offices, in the hospital. I can't imagine any of those bosses or supervisors or any higher ups getting on a call and giving us this tone of voice and it being okay. Just the tone at which she's like,
do you even know what that means? Do you know what prospecting means? Do you know these terms that I'm spitting at you, or are you fucking dumb? And is that why your sales suck?
that's the vibes it's giving. This is not giving I'm here to help vibes. Am I wrong? I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm in rare form, because if you didn't see the last video, you'll know why. But am I the problem here? Maybe it's just my mindset. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's my mindset and this is acceptable. This is okay. This is the way we actually lead people.
I feel like I'm teaching a class. I probably should just tell you. When I say prospect, I mean bringing in new people into their funnel. Raise your hand or tell me in the chat if you're saying that I can't get anybody else to buy, or nobody will say yes to a party. I don't have anybody to join. Tell me in the comments if you've said that. People that can't read the chat, people are saying yes.
People that can't read the chat and are just awkwardly seeing me sit here in silence, nod at the screen. People are saying yes.
Yes, people are saying yes. Okay. And everybody has, I'm sure, said that. I mean, nobody's immune to feeling that way, right? Okay. So superstar salespeople are fanatical prospectors. They prospect day and night, anywhere, anytime, unstoppable, always on. They view it as a way of life.
I want to know what book she's talking about, because if they're talking about people are prospecting with just the intent to sell, there's no other reasons. When they're prospecting with the only intent to sell a product or a service and not recruit people to do the same thing, it's way different, because there's no pressure of recruiting, if that makes sense. I hope it does. To me, in my head, it makes sense. I mean, for example, when I take a brand deal, I haven't taken one in a long time. When I took a brand deal with Rose Forever, I love their products so much. To this day, I still have all of the products they've sent. They've still withstood the test of time and 2 moves, and they're still kicking. When I took that brand deal, for me, it felt low pressure, because I can talk about it and help improve sales, help get sales for that product, because I believe in it. I know that the roses last, the flowers last, they are pretty. They do look nice in my spaces. But if you told me that we want you to talk about our roses, but also talk about getting other people to talk about our roses, I'd be like, oh, that sounds very high pressure. I'm not here for that. I'm not good at that. I don't want to recruit people. I just want to tell people about the thing that I like so they can maybe go and buy it, and maybe I'll get a percentage back from it. It's apples to oranges when you're comparing the two, because one feels way less pressure if you're standing behind a product and you really want to sell it, and the other is very high pressure because you're talking people into giving you money to potentially not even see it come back. Anyway, all of that to say, if she's talking about a book that has nothing at all to do with multi-level marketing and only to do with sales, you can't even use it in this scenario because of the recruiting aspect. The end goal is always to recruit in multi-level marketing companies, because that's where you get the biggest return on your investment, if you even see any return on your investment. So you get apples to oranges. That's all that rambling. We got there eventually.
They prospect without worrying about what other people are going to think about them, because it's none of your business anyway. That means you are always going to talk to people about Scentsy. How many times do you meet somebody and you're scared and you don't talk to them about it? A lot. How many times are you just too afraid to give somebody a sample pack? Probably a lot.
probably because the MLM awareness has gone up over the years, and most people know when they see a sample pack from somebody in a multi-level marketing company, there's a high probability that they're going to start hounding you about hosting a party and joining. Two of those things. Those two things people don't want to do. We're too busy. We've got too much going on. Our states are on fire.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
There's a lot going on. Nobody wants that kind of pressure.
But I can promise you that all of your problems in sales are going to be fixed by prospecting and by meeting new people. Prospecting in Scentsy. How are we doing that? We're partying. Number one, parties aren't dead. So I don't care who says that parties are dead, they're not.
Yeah, they are. If you have to follow that up with, I don't care who says parties are dead, they're not. There's enough people proving the point that parties are fucking dead. In my opinion, I guess.
The new customers on your workstation. There's prospects that show up on your workstation. And if you haven't clicked those things, you really should, because I really hadn't clicked it. But I had people on my prospect list who I had no idea who they were. They'd never bought from me before, but I had their like customer information. I had like their address and phone number and stuff.
Because it's that easy for somebody to go on to Scentsy.com and order. And it used to be you had to order through a consultant. So when you would be ordering, if you didn't have a consultant, you'd be able to pick a consultant that was closest to you, that was close to you in the area. So I even had people that ordered on my, if you didn't know, I was in Scentsy for almost 4 years. I had people on my website that I had no idea where they came from. And it was from the consultant locator because they had to attach their order to a consultant. So that's how these people are getting the prospects that they're getting. They're just being found on the locator and the orders are being attached to them. So now these consultants have all of these customers' information to start potentially hounding them to have a party or join Scentsy. Now it's not like that anymore. You can search for a consultant and attach it to a consultant, but you can also go to Scentsy.com and order whatever you want to order, not have it attached to a consultant, which that's another sign that Scentsy might be, as it stands today, might be circling the drain. The multi-level marketing aspect, the recruiting aspect of it all is not doing well, maybe. But yeah, just like nothing she's saying is going to help these people because she didn't do anything to get that prospect. She just had a zip code that was close to the people that she doesn't know where they came from. In most cases, in a lot of cases like that, it's not usually just people hunting you specifically out so that you then have their information. It's just because at the time they had to attach their order to a consultant and you're the first one that showed up in the locator, so that's where they went. That's it.
Apparently, they must have went and made a customer account on my website and never bought, like made a cart and stuff. No idea who they were. But your girl sent them some samples. I knew they weren't fake because they had real addresses. My people had real addresses. And if you think your girl didn't look them up on social media, your girl's doing it, because I mean that was free prospecting. I didn't even do no work for any of that. So utilize the resources that you have for those types of things. If you meet somebody out and you're talking to them, put their information in your workstation. Like, what are we doing, guys? You're not going to remember. I promise you're not going to remember. Have them put it in there. Are you having them fill? Do you have the contact me link to your website saved on your phone to very easily send that to someone if you're talking to somebody in the grocery store line? Have them fill it out. Tell them you'll send them some samples if they fill that out.
Oh my God, no. Don't do that. Nobody wants to be grocery shopping to begin with. I don't know a lot of people that love grocery shopping. Adding the dreaded multi-level marketing Hun encounter, it just makes it even more dreadful. And we all got to eat. So stay away from soliciting in the grocery store.
Get their contact information. Prospecting is key. Okay. So now, superstars do not procrastinate. They don't say, I don't have time. They don't say, I'll catch up tomorrow. They don't live in fear. They don't say, what if she says no? What if they talk shit about me? What if they think I'm a weirdo? They prospect when they don't worry if somebody else has already asked them. They don't worry about if they've already heard about Scentsy. Guys, our brand awareness I meet people all the time that don't know what Scentsy is. That's not okay.
No, it's okay. We can let them not know about Scentsy. They've got less expensive options that they're using, or they don't want to use scented products at all. It's okay that people don't know about Scentsy. It's not going to be the end of the world. Not everybody needs to know and use Scentsy. It's a fragrance company, and there's many others that are better, less expensive, easier to access. It's not the end of the world.
Like, that's not okay. So not everybody knows. Okay. So superstars, they carry around a pocket full of business cards.
I got a pocket full of business cards.
They talk to strangers in doctors' offices. They don't go out of the house Scentsy naked. Don't be caught Scentsy naked. I have these little purse packs in my purse. Duh. I keep these in my purse. It is a contact me card. I don't have business cards because, truth be told, if I got a business card, I'd throw it away. I don't like clutter, okay? I'm not going to do it. But this is like what I would do. This is like my version of a business card. And it's basically a business card. But then I have a scent circle in it. And then I have a product list. And then I have a drawing sheet. And then just another little info card.
Raise your hand if you get things like that and immediately throw them in the trash. I'll take the product out, but I'm probably not even looking at the rest of it. It's just a waste of money in most cases. There's a small percentage of people that you give those things to that actually look at the things and do the things on the cards and go to the QR codes. There's a very small percentage. Most of that stuff is junk mail.
Junk. Junk is all junk.
And this is what I try to get them to do if I'm actually having a decent conversation. I try to get them to fill this out while I'm sitting there if they won't do like the contact form on my website. I'll have them do this while I'm talking to them if it's like a good conversation, because then I can actually get them to do it right then. You know what I'm saying?
You're just hounding them for their information. They said, no, I don't want to put my information on your website. Okay, well then fill out this card and I'll do it for you. No, they don't want you to contact them. That's why they didn't want to do it on the website. It's easier to just, a lot of people, I don't know, maybe not a lot of people are like this, but my stuff auto populates when I go and like if I'm ordering something or if I'm filling out a form, all of my stuff auto populates because I saved it to be that way. It's very easy. And if they wanted you to have their information, they can go in and do that. It's very easy. It's easier than them sitting down and filling out this paperwork. They don't want you to have their information. Don't give them another option to give you their information. They're trying to be nice.
Otherwise, they're probably going to go home and never do it. Most people, right? But I carry these around with me because if I'm talking to somebody in the line at Home Goods and having a good time and they ask what you do, or it comes up, or they're buying candles or they're buying fragrance, you never should leave the house Scentsy naked.
Wait, what'd you say?
You never should leave the house Scentsy naked. You don't have to keep a scent circle in there.
That leans even more toward junk mail because there's no sample, there's nothing you can touch and feel and smell. Nope, just postcards and then a form to fill out so this woman can hound you. If they're at Home Goods buying a candle, let them be at Home Goods and buy a candle. And if they're trying to have a human connection with you because you happen to be the one that they got stuck in line with, just have the human connection, okay? It doesn't have to end with give me your money, because that's the end goal here. Even though she's not asking for their money, she's asking for their contact information. She wants their contact information so that she can then subsequently ask them for money. They're already giving Home Goods their money. Times are tough. We don't need to also give out our money in line at Home Goods.
I actually have, let me show you these two. This is actually what I'm going to start sticking in there because I don't always want to give scent circles away because that's too expensive. It's this rat card and it says bestsellers for a reason and then meet your new signature scent. And these are the rub and smell stickers. And what I did was I got the like classic scents. So these are going to be good for a whole hot minute. So I got blueberry cheesecake, coconut lemongrass, clothesline, welcome home, and very vanilla. So these are going to be good for a hot minute. So I can make a bunch of these purse packs and not really have to worry about the scent going away. And put them in there, and at least then they're getting some type of scent if I'm going to give somebody something.
Still useless for people. So again, going in the trash. Do you think people like frame this shit? Nobody's holding on to this. It's a waste of time and money to put these things together and force them on people at Home Goods and the grocery store.
That was a side note. Okay. All right.
Awkward silence.
All right, the brutal fact is that the number one failure in sales is not because of a shipping delay. It's not because our shipping cost maybe $10. It's not because your leader or your sponsor doesn't show up for you. It's not because you're not as pretty as someone else, or you don't look like someone else, or you haven't been doing this as long as someone else, or there's another consultant that lives down the road. The fact of the matter is, the brutal fact, the number one failure in sales is an empty pipe.
She doesn't feel too confident. Like, why is their pipe empty? Because there's 5 other consultants on the same road as this consultant, probably. Among many other things. It's oversaturated. There's no need for these consultants. So for them to fill up their pipeline right now in 2026 is almost impossible. The ease of access to order Scentsy without a consultant is there. You can thank Scentsy for that because they flipped that switch. They want you to succeed though, right? Y'all are so brainwashed.
No one's coming in. No one's coming in. You ain't got nobody to sell to because you can't sell to the same people over and over and over again. And the root cause of an empty pipe is the failure to prospect. How many new customers did you get last month?
No, it's not the consultant's failure. It's Scentsy's failure to the consultants. Scentsy did this. They allowed the market to get oversaturated. They allowed people to order without attaching their orders to consultants, even join without attaching their account to another consultant. How are they going to fill their pipeline when people can go and order Scentsy without ever having to talk to any other human being? Make it make sense.
It's damn near impossible.
If the answer is 0, no. That's not okay. If you want to grow your business. If the answer is 2, that's not really okay either. People look at the successful people in Scentsy and wonder how they're doing it. You know what they're doing? They're consistently prospecting and meeting new people. They're consistently partying. They're consistently asking for referrals. They're consistently meeting new people and not giving a flying F what Joe Schmo from the grocery store or homegirl that you knew 20 years in high school thinks about you. You have to stop searching for an easy button or the next best thing and just start talking to people. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret system or Canva template or anything else that's going to solve any of your sales problems if you don't go meet people. There ain't a flyer, there ain't a warmer, there ain't anything that is going to solve any of your problems unless you go and meet people, period. That's just it. Jim Rohn, who's like a famous business person, you shouldn't wish things you shouldn't wish things were easier. You should wish you were better.
Wow. So now, not only is it your fault and your mindset, you're not good enough. You need to be better. Even though Scentsy is making it 10 times fucking harder, in my opinion, it's your fault because you're not good enough. She's a gem. She really is.
Wait, was that sarcasm?
What a gem of a leader we have upon us.
And I was like, well, that sucks. Because I was like, okay, exactly. Why do you think I'm over here reading books about how to do these things? Clearly, I need help.
Yeah, clearly.
What book? What book? Give us the title of the book that you keep referencing. Is the book in the room with us? Is it also with the vibe?
Clearly, I need to work on those things, okay? You are owed nothing. You have to get your ass up, get out there, and make things happen yourself. People aren't going to be coming and knocking on your front door to meet you. You are owed nothing. In sales, there's always going to be something to complain about. That's just how it is. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be rejections.
In sales, okay? That's a very generalized term.
And there's always going to be hard work. You can complain and whine, but you're only going to be hurting yourself. In business and in life, there's only 3 things that you can control. Your actions, your reactions to things that happen to you, and your mindset. That's it.
And what you're selling. You can control what you're selling, regardless of if you're at a legitimate sales position where you are a salesperson and you have accounts that you work with for that salesperson, like a medical equipment salesperson, or if you're in an MLM. It is now your fault. You can control both of those things. You can leave the position you're at for medical sales if you're not happy there and go sell something else, try something else, or leave sales altogether. In a multi-level marketing company, you could leave. You're likely never going to find success in sales when it comes to multi-level marketing companies. According to statistics, you can research it, but there's also links in my description from the FTC that prove that to be true. And then if you're a maker, you make stuff and you sell on Etsy and you're having a hard time with sales, it could be the products. It could be that. And maybe you've tried your mindset work and whatever else bullshit she's telling you to fix. It might be the products. It might be the pricing. It might be other things that you can control, that you are able to fix. It's not your mindset's fucked. No, there are other factors.
That's all you can control. You can't control anything else. Your actions, what you do, your reactions to the way things happen to you, and your mindset. That's it. Focus your energy on what you can control.
Her eyes are scary me. I'm concerned for her. Is she okay? Are you okay, ma'am? You can also control leaving Scentsy. Don't go to pharmacy. I'm seeing so many of y'all go to pharmacy. Don't do that. I see what you're doing. You're just hopping around to see if maybe this over here is going to be better. Spoiler alert. It's just not.
You can control that you say you don't know anybody that'll book a party. You can control that you say no one is buying. You feel like you can't. But what have you actually done about it? How many new people have you brought into your funnel? How many new customers have you put into your workstation? And this isn't like, oh, go be a shark and just like eat people for breakfast with Scentsy. This is a long-term game. You have to actually build relationships with people.
You don't, though. I don't need a relationship with the people that I'm buying candles from. Like, if we're talking about Birkin bags and you're going to sit down with me and take $30,000 of my money, maybe we need a different kind of relationship, a different kind of transaction situation. But when we're talking about f***ing candles, we don't need relationship-based selling. It's a candle. Relax.
It's not like going and just hey girling everybody. You have to actually be a person. So think about those things, okay? Now, success leaves clues. Look at what the successful people are doing. The successful people in Scentsy, what they're doing is they're showing up consistently on social media. They're showing up consistently in their business. They're meeting new people. And you know what? They ain't posting a damn flyer. They're not posting a flyer. They're not just posting about Scentsy. They're being a person. If I had any advice for half of the consultants that I see on the internet, it would be to stop posting. If I go and look at your profile and all I see is a bunch of flyers, I have no idea who you are. You are not Scentsy. You are a person. Be a person. That is who people are buying from. And people need to know who you are, what you stand for. And if you're a weird little hoe, like I was at 19 with my reel, people buy from me because of that, okay?
Did she just say that?
Like, it's like they don't want to buy from Angela, who posted 7 flyers yesterday. They know me, and they know I'm going to keep it real, and I don't like coconut lemongrass. They might. And they know if I think a scent smells like dog poop, I'm going to tell them that.
This is just so weird. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I have never been able to put the puzzle pieces together to make it make sense to have that level of, I don't know, communication isn't the right word, but that level of transparency, I don't know, sharing about your life with people so they buy from you. Even if I was going to sit down with somebody at Hermes to buy a Birkin bag for $30,000, I don't need to know about their kids or anything of that nature. I don't know. I know that I do have a couple of luxury salespeople. Correct me. Tell me your actual job title in the comments. I know a couple of you have left this little tidbit of information. I don't know what kind of training luxury salespeople go through, but I know that their relationship status with their customers doesn't look like what Scentsy consultants or multi-level marketing participants make it look like it's even supposed to be at that level of consumerism. Like, tell us, please. let us know what type of relationship building training, because I'm assuming you probably even go through some kind of training. What does that look like? Is it oversharing about your kids shitting their pants or shitting in the bathtub the night before on Facebook? Something tells me it's not that. And that's the types of sharing that these consultants encourage from what I've experienced and seen in the past.
I'm not just going to sell them something crazy. So those things matter. Be a person and start talking to people. Okay, now, last thing I want to talk about with mindset, okay? There are 7 core mindsets that define superstars in sales. 7 core mindsets, okay? If you duplicate these mindsets, you can guarantee yourself success in filling your pipeline and crushing your numbers. I didn't say that. This author did, okay?
What author from what book? Because how are they guaranteeing that things are going to look up for them in a multi-level marketing company? What f***ing book are you talking about?
Number 1, they are optimistic and enthusiastic. They have a winning mindset. They know that negative and bitter people with a victim mindset do not do well in sales. That negative group over there that they just want to, bury themselves alive, that, you know what group I'm talking about. None of them people are ever going to win at life in anything. I'm just being honest.
The anti-MLM community that's raising awareness around multi-level marketing companies and how they are deceptive and gross, in my opinion, but deceptive on many levels, because the FTC itself in America has stated that most people that join a multi-level marketing company lose money, but you're telling them they're going to make it. What am I missing?
Because they ain't bringing nothing positive to themselves or to the world or to anything. Anybody that has that much time to be that negative about anything, I think they probably pee in their own cereal at this point.
No, that's gross, baby. I don't even eat cereal, so there's that.
So they know that those people are never going to win.
We already won as far as I'm concerned.
Even on bad days, they continue to prospect. Okay? Obviously, this sounds like you can never take a day off. I'm not saying that, but even if you're having a bad day and you meet somebody, you still have a business, right? Number 2, they're competitive. I don't know about you, but I don't play games I can't win.
You're competitive, but what about the Scentsy sisterhood? There's room for everybody at the top, but you have to be competitive. How does that make sense? You cannot apply whatever fucking book you keep referring to your Scentsy business.
I'm competitive, but they're competitive. They're hardwired to win and willing to do whatever it takes. They begin each day ready to win the battle of attention for the most prospects and out-hustle their other competitors. She go buy from you or she go buy from me? And it's because, is she going to join you or is she going to join me? Because I'm going to ask if you don't. Because if you don't ask, someone else will. And you can't be mad when that happens.
Again, she just proved the fact that the end goal is always to get them to join. Because if you don't ask them to join, she's going to ask them to join. It's not to sell, it's to get them to join.
So being competitive. Sometimes you just need to be competitive with yourself. Be better than you were yesterday. Be 1% better than you were yesterday. Number 3, they're confident. And if you can't be confident yet, borrow some from me. Because everybody that's on this call right now, you're a rock star.
You can't borrow confidence. As great as that sounds, like as generous as you sound, you cannot borrow confidence. You cannot borrow genuine confidence is what I should say. People can see through fake confidence.
It's hard to be confident when you feel like you're not winning, like you're not in a winning season. But you are. You're here, and everybody deserves to win, and everybody can win. But you have to expect and believe that you are going to win. That's how you become confident. They have developed the mental toughness and the ability to manage the disruptive emotions of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Every single person has that. Every single person feels those things. They just don't let it stop them. They have the confidence to just ignore it. Number 4, they are relentless. They are relentless. They have a high need for achievement. They're going to do whatever it takes to reach their goal. They use rejection as motivational fuel to get up and keep going, with a determined belief that their next yes is just around the corner. I don't know if you've ever, plenty of people have said this before, but the yeses live in the land of the no's. You can't get a yes if you're not asking. How many no's are you going to hear to get to a yes? Number 5, they are thirsty for knowledge. They welcome feedback and coaching. They seek out every opportunity to learn and invest in themselves by voraciously consuming books, podcasts, audiobooks, blog posts, online training, live seminars, and anything else that will make them better.
So they're consuming all of those things, which is a little time consuming in my opinion. When are they having the time to put into action the things that they're supposed to be learning in the pockets of their day?
They have an unshakable belief that everything happens for a reason. And through this lens, they view setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. So one thing about that with thirsty for knowledge, that doesn't mean go and listen to every single Scentsy training you can possibly listen to if you're not going to put it into action. There's a difference between being thirsty for knowledge and just training and not doing anything.
Again, when you want them to go to Scentsy Family Reunion, Scentsy World Tour, get on your team trainings, watch the Scentsy trainings, and put all of it into action. Yet, I'm not sure I heard one piece of information that these people could put into action from this training, and we're already 25 minutes in, so you're taking the time from them that they could be implementing the things that they have supposedly already learned.
Because at this point, there's enough training out there, Marley can go run the business. I mean, it's like we've said, this business is simple, but like thirsty for knowledge, most of us didn't go to school to be in sales. Go read a sales book. Go read a buyer psychology book.
I think there is value in going to school for sales if you are somebody who wants to run a business or be in sales. I think there's value in that, and this training itself is proving that might be true, in my opinion.
Go do other things. Okay, number 6, they are systematic and efficient. They have the ability to execute with systematic efficiency, basically saying they're consistent. They're going to do the same things over and over.
Yeah, just be consistent.
And then number 7, they are adaptive and flexible. They have acute situational awareness. Because of this, they are able to respond and adapt quickly to changing situations and circumstances.
We still have no idea what book she's talking about, and it's driving me nuts. Because if it's a legitimate book, that is... Wait, she held it up, Sam, you dummy. This book has nothing to do with multi-level marketing at all, just so you know. It's called Fanatical Prospecting, the ultimate guide to opening sales conversations and filling the pipeline by leveraging social selling, telephone, email, text, and cold calling. I think there's a place for this in legitimate sales when you're prospecting the right people, not anyone and everyone you come into contact with. And something tells me that maybe this book says something along those lines, but she didn't point that out. I'm going to read the description that's on Amazon to give us an even better idea of who this book is for and who the author was speaking to. Ditch the failed sales tactics, fill your pipeline, and crush your number. With over 500,000 copies sold, Fanatical Prospecting gives salespeople, sales leaders, entrepreneurs, and executives, none of those describe a multi-level marketing participant. They pretend they're salespeople, but they are not trained in sales in most cases. They have no fucking clue what they're doing in most cases. Some of them maybe are trained salespeople and have had a lapse of judgment and decided to join a multi-level marketing company, but most of them are not highly trained, vetted salespeople. They're just moms, dads. Anyway, the eye-opening guide that clearly explains the why and how behind the most important activity in sales and business development, prospecting. The brutal fact is the number one reason for failure in sales is an empty pipe. So she just read the description is what I'm getting so far. And the root cause of an empty pipeline is the failure to consistently prospect. By ignoring the muscle of prospecting, many otherwise competent salespeople and sales organizations consistently underperform. Many otherwise competent salespeople. That removed you from this conversation, ma'am. You are not an otherwise competent salesperson. I believe she's a teacher, which teachers are amazing, but they're not salespeople. Step by step, Jeb Blount, I think that's how you say it, Blount, outlines his innovative approach to prospecting that works for real people in the real world with real prospects. Learn how to keep the pipeline full of qualified opportunities and avoid debilitating sales slumps by leveraging a balanced prospecting methodology across multiple prospecting channels. So nowhere in there did this man mention multi-level marketing, network marketing, pyramid schemes. None of that was mentioned in this man's book, who seems like he may have an idea of what he's talking about. I don't know who this is, so let's look a little deeper into him. That sounded gross. I don't actually want to do that. Now, I'm not saying that I stand behind whatever this man says in his book. Sales is a tricky place to be in, I feel like. I'm not a salesperson, and there's a reason for that. And I think many people are not salespeople, and that's the problem in multi-level marketing. It just gives everybody the opportunity to pretend they're salespeople when they don't have the qualifications to be a salesperson. Anyway, I did a quick Google search on this author. Unfortunately, he does do some trainings for MLM companies, and I don't love that because I just feel like he's selling them something that they can't even attain because they don't have all of the training, which this individual does have. He does have training in marketing. He went to college for marketing. He has an idea of what he's talking about when it comes to sales. And something tells me that he also knows deep down that multi-level marketing is ass, and most people are going to fail, but he's making money off of them. So he's going to keep doing that while he can. Marketing bro. The marketing bro world is so great. However, like I said, he is formally trained in sales in many ways that these people are not. So his book itself is marketed toward legitimate salespeople who are in legitimate sales positions, who sell products. They don't recruit. There's no recruiting involved. So again, this book to me is null and void for a multi-level marketing participant to go off of. There's more to it. And again, this book is not marketed to multi-level marketing or network marketing participants. It's marketed to salespeople. And that's a very blanketed term. So I guess she's just taking it and running with it.
Okay. So, with all of that being said, your mindset is going to make or break your business. You are the only one that can do that. You are the only one that can go out and meet new people and bring them into your funnel, into your pipeline. And people are buying every single day. They're buying. If people weren't buying, influencers wouldn't be making millions of dollars, guys.
Oh, she's not even talking specifically about Scentsy. She's just talking about people spending money every single day. First of all, there is a little bit of a decline from what I've been observing and listening to and watching. There is a little bit of a decline in influencer culture because, you know, there's a time and a place for everything. And maybe that time and place is starting to get smaller than it was. Just proving that people are spending money doesn't mean that they should be successful in their Scentsy business. Those two things don't mean the same thing. Yes, people are spending money, but it doesn't mean that that means people should be buying Scentsy.
People are buying. Maybe your people aren't buying. Go find the people that are. Okay? Love y'all. Oh, I did a weird thumbs up thing. What is it? What is happening? Love y'all. I don't know who's going next.
I'm next.
Stop thumbs up. I don't know how to make it quit.
I didn't even know that was a thing. All right, Winnie, are you making me the spotlight?
Would you like me to?
Oh, does that just automatically make me the spotlight when I start talking?
It depends on how they have it setting, but I can do it.
Oh, okay. Oh, there I am. There I am. Hey, guys. Okay, so I wanted Chas to go first because I felt like the flow was really gonna flow.
Oh, the vibe is vibing and the flow is flowing.
Okay, so now that we've talked about mindset and prospecting, basically growing your customer base, I am a big believer in mindset, okay? Chastity crushed it, especially with those 7 core mindsets that she just went over.
Crushed it is an aggressive term for what she just did. I crushed it. Sure, I think that I have a different meaning for that specific phrase at this present time, but yeah, she really crushed it.
I just wrote them all down. I hope you guys did too because they were really good. And I feel like all of these, I could name those 7 core characteristics. I could name multiple people in our business that have all 7 of those. Chastity being one of them, Whitney being one of them. So many leaders, not even at the top of our company. There is one of my girls, Ashley. She's on this call right now. She has every single one of those, like down to a T. Okay.
Not even just the superstar directors. There's a few of you left out there that have a chance. They don't hear themselves, do they?
Okay. So, what I wanted to talk about was stepping out of your comfort zone. Okay. You have to first have that positive mindset in order to push yourself out of that bubble that you created for yourself. Okay. Your comfort zone is what you created. So, we, as consultants, honestly, just as human beings, in order to grow, you have to get uncomfortable. Nothing is going to grow in a comfort zone, okay? With anything in life, but especially this business.
I believe that to an extent. I believe that getting uncomfortable can bring growth, and it does bring growth in a lot of cases, but not always. We don't always have to push ourselves so far to be so uncomfortable that we know something we're doing probably isn't in line with what we believe, but we're going to push through anyway because she said to. No, if your gut is telling you there's something wrong, there might actually be something wrong. Not all the time, but a lot of the time when your body is telling you there's something wrong, there's something wrong. Listen to it. Reevaluate the situation at hand.
So if you want to grow your customer base, to continue that, what did she say? Chastity said an empty pipe. We have to fill up that pipe. We have to get it flowing.
That sounds gross.
Right? We've got to get it flowing, get it moving. So if you want to get that pipe flowing, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Now, I'm not saying that you have to literally like yeet yourself out of your bubble. Start slow. Okay, Chastity, you better stop it. I can see your face. Start slow, and I promise you, one of the core characteristics was confidence. That, so I joined Scentsy 8.5 years ago, which is wild to me. But confidence, self-confidence was the very first thing that I gained from this business.
No. I said this in previous videos. Self-confidence never comes from an outside source. Ever. And when it does, it's going to leave with that outside source, should that outside source ever leave. A man, a woman, a business opportunity, money. If you're attaching your self-worth and your self-confidence to anything else, a f***ing fan, okay? As soon as this is gone, so is that confidence. Like, be realistic. Your self-confidence comes from spending time with you, getting to know you, knowing what you like, what you don't like, what you stand for, what you don't stand for, how you feel about yourself, learning to love yourself, your body, your brain, your thoughts. That's where the self-confidence comes in. Not handing over money to join a company and calling it personal growth and development and finding self-confidence. What happens if and when Scentsy goes away, ma'am?
I don't know if you guys follow me on social media. I put a lot of my business out there, okay? I am very comfortable on camera. If I'm the one recording, should I say. I'm very comfortable like on video, all of that. But I did not start that way. When I joined Scentsy, my sponsor, Katie Lassiter, told me to open my kit live on Facebook. Never had I gone live a day in my life. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna see me going live.
Her sponsor is, what does she say? What the, I don't even remember what she says. What the, not fuck, not fork, not fudge, maybe fudge? I don't know. What the fart. I don't remember what she says. I don't know. I'll put a clip in of what she says, but that's her sponsor.
And you know what? I remember I came home and I was like, you know what? I just want to see like what the live button looks like. I didn't even know how to go live. And so I had no plans on going live, and I just went up on my phone on the thing, and it was this big red button that said live. But I don't know what I was thinking. I figured that when you clicked it, it didn't actually go live. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, we went live, okay? And it was the most embarrassing video I've ever put out, ever. But you know what it brought me? Confidence that I did not freaking die. And it also brought me customers, because guess what happens when you go live on your Facebook? Especially if you don't normally go live. You are going to be bumped to the very top of your everybody who follows you or is your friend, you are going to be the first thing that pops up on their feed when they open their app. Okay?
Not all the time. Just putting that out there. The algorithm is a robot and it does what it wants. It's got no rules. It will not always put you at the top. And if people start scrolling away quick, the next live you do won't get pushed out to anybody.
And I promise you, if you've never been live before, your friends know that. And when they see your face on their app as the first thing, they're going to be like, oh, what's Heather talking about on live? I never see her go live. What is she talking about?
Also, I don't know if it's just me, but I rarely will click on a live if I see somebody live unless it's somebody that's super close to me, because you can see who's coming on your live. You see who's popping in, and I don't want people knowing that I'm just lurking. I'm just being nosy. I'm a nosy ass bitch. I'll watch the live later if it's still there. Hopefully it's still there. But a lot of times I won't click the live because I don't want to then be hounded by you for any other reason. It's so bad to admit, but I admitted it. Now you know.
Okay? So start small, but self-confidence, you can gain that as you do small things. And even if you're not getting the win that you expect, a win could be literally completing a live that you've never done. Okay? Even if you tripped over your words, y'all. I remember smelling snowberry, and guess what I said it smelled like? Snow and berries. First of all, what the fuck does snow smell like? Second of all, like, that was the worst description I could have ever described. But people thought it was hilarious. My husband's in the background making fun of me going live, has more viewers than I do. So, different wins can mean something differently to everybody. Okay. Small wins. Exactly. I don't know who said that. I don't have my chat pulled up. But small wins really do bring so much confidence. Okay. And you know what? If I had never gone live, I probably would not be sharing and growing on social media every single day. Okay. Another thing that Chastity talked about was, what was the phrase you used? People are just being people. You just said, I don't know, they're just a person. Instead of like sharing. What did you say? What was the phrase you used?
I don't remember. People are just being people.
Something like that. Yeah.
You're a person.
Oh, you're a person.
Be a person.
Be a person. Literally just share about your life. Okay? That is how people are connecting with you. They are not going to necessarily connect over Scentsy products. I have multiple people who literally started ordering off my website randomly, didn't recognize their name, messaged them, was like, hey, thank you so much for ordering. How did you find me? Did somebody refer you to me? And she was like, actually, no, I found you on Instagram and I just love watching your stories, and I connected with you through all of your animals, and I loved you so much that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go order Scentsy from her. She literally connected with me because I share videos of my cats, my dogs, my chickens. Okay, had nothing to do with Scentsy.
Oh, if you're that person, honey, you've fallen into the trap. You have fallen into the trap. Just enjoy her content about her animals. I'm not saying completely unfollow these people, but be careful when you're engaging with people like this. Make sure that they're not sharing things about their animals with the hopes of connecting to more people to sell Scentsy to and to try and rope into this business opportunity. Be very careful. I usually, before I interact with anybody on social media these days, I will go and make sure like they're not going to send me a DM when I like their content. It's not like that. I just want to like your content.
She wanted to order from me because she connected with me through something completely different than fragrance. I know it's getting dark out here. I'm sorry, guys. My baby's asleep inside. But step outside of your comfort zone, okay? So whether that's going live on social media or making a post on social media. I mean, stepping out of your comfort zone can mean so many things. You really just kind of have to reflect on yourself, and whatever makes you uncomfortable or scared is what you need to focus on. That's where you need to stretch your bubble a little bit.
No. First of all, sometimes yes. Second of all, ask yourself why you're feeling that way. If you're doing something, if you're about to do something and you feel scared, nervous, stressed, like you shouldn't do it, like you want to run away, ask yourself if there's maybe a deeper reason. Is it maybe unethical? Is it something you just don't believe in? Those are the same feelings you get when it's actually something you shouldn't be doing. So don't just ignore them all of the time. That to me is problematic. When somebody is telling you to ignore those feelings all of the time and just go so far outside of your comfort zone, you can get into trouble. I've done that a few times. More recently than I'd like to admit.
Just step outside, okay? Even if it's for literally just getting your toe wet, okay? Start with getting your toe wet, then your feet, and then move on forward, because guess what? The confidence level is going to grow and you're going to get better at it, okay? So, I don't know, here's an example. If you want to grow your team, but you're terrified of it, your first step would be to offer the opportunity to someone, right? So literally just ask them, hey, have you ever thought of selling Scentsy or making an extra income with Scentsy? And then the next thing that I feel like a lot of people are scared to create big business goals for themselves. In order to grow, you have to set goals for yourself, okay? And don't look at somebody else's goals that is around you or in your team page if they're sharing. Who cares about anybody else's goals, okay? At the end of the day, you are in competition with yourself and who you were yesterday, like Chastity said, yes, like Chastity said earlier, or who you were last month or what your goals were last month. If you sold 500 PRV last month, why don't you try to hit 600 this month, right? Push yourself a little bit farther. Make scary goals.
Making scary goals is another way to get roped into a trap. If you make scary goals, and a lot of times in MLMs, from my experience, these scary goals were unattainable for me, but I was encouraged to have those goals. They were not attainable. And because I never reached those goals, it did a number on my self-confidence. Ironically enough, because those goals were never going to get reached because I didn't have what I needed to reach those goals. It was not possible, and it's still not possible to this day. Encouraging people to make goals that seem unattainable is a big problem. Using that as a blanket statement on a team training with all of these people shows how inexperienced you are in leadership. Because encouraging people to make goals that big, regardless of who you are or your situation, is dangerous to people, to their psyche, because sometimes those big scary goals are big, scary, and unattainable for those people. And I'm not saying that to be negative, it's just the facts.
Because I promise you, if you are constantly playing it safe and saying, oh, my goal this month is 500, but every month you hit 500, guess what? You're never going to push yourself to hit anything higher because you're playing it safe. I promise you, when you create big scary goals and then put action towards hitting those big scary goals, I promise you, you will literally shock yourself. And once you shock yourself, it's all over, okay? It's all over. That confidence level went from a freaking 5 to a level 100, and now you are off to the races, okay? So nothing grows in comfort zones. Create big goals for yourself. Ask somebody to join if that's one of your goals, to grow a team. If it's not, that's perfectly fine. Start sharing on social media. You don't have to share everything. You don't have to, whatever you don't want to share, you don't have to do. Share what you want to share. But at the end of the day, social media is a huge resource that a lot of people are not taking advantage of, okay? So I highly recommend sharing more on social media. But don't let it just be Scentsy. People don't want to just see Scentsy after Scentsy after Scentsy. Unless you're somehow integrating it into your life, meaning like if you're talking about Scentsy in every single video, but then you have like a really good example, actually, Katie Lassiter, if you don't follow her, she does live sniff sessions with her husband, and sometimes her kids are involved. That is a great way to incorporate your family into Scentsy because they are hilarious. They are hilarious. So step outside your comfort zone, okay? I'm actually going to challenge you. That's one of my challenges for you guys this month. Figure out what scares you, and I want you to step out of your comfort zone. And then I want you to share it in your team page whenever you've done it, okay? Even if you feel like you weren't great at it, share it in your team page, okay? You never know, from you doing something scary and sharing it is going to push somebody else to try and do something that scares them, okay? So you could be an inspiration to somebody else. The next thing, people are not mind readers, okay? I know we all think so. We all think that our spouses are mind readers at some point, right? I definitely think my husband should be reading my mother freaking mind at this point. 10 years later, you would think he could read my mind. Well, I have to remind myself almost on the daily that he cannot read my mind, Rachel. So open my mouth and tell him how I'm feeling or what I want done, okay? It's the same thing with our businesses. So whether it's through social media, text messages, emails, face-to-face, like Chastity said, if you're in Home Goods and you strike up a conversation about whatever, talk to people about what you sell.
No. You're making your whole identity in Scentsy about selling Scentsy and selling the business opportunity. And that's problematic because, again, what happens if and when Scentsy goes away? Who are you? What do you have? What do you do? Because you no longer sell Scentsy. You no longer carry samples. You no longer have Scentsy to talk about. What are you going to talk about? Do you even have a personality of your own?
Because people are not going to know unless you are sharing it. Okay? So
it's okay for people not to know. Like I have become more talkative than not when I'm out in public, and I will just strike up a conversation sometimes when I'm in line at Home Goods for no reason, but never are we talking about work. I'm never going to be like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. You should subscribe to my channel. No. You don't have to sell all of the time. You can just connect and be human. We can fix this. It's not too late. We can fix human beings. I have to have some kind of faith in humanity because what the is happening? Like, we can have conversations just to have conversations, just to be in the same place at the same time and talking and not feeling alone in line and like, I really want to get out of here. You can just have a conversation. Don't make it weird.
And I know that Whitney's going to talk a little bit about this, but I know that like creating emails can seem like it's a lot of what's the term I'm trying to say? I'm going blank. It can seem hard to create emails and to send emails, especially if you want to do them like multiple times a month. But when you create a system, like we talked, one of the characteristics of a superstar salesperson, one of the things is when you create a system, it helps you stay consistent. Okay. Guess what? One of the systems are the Scentsy Connect app. Whitney's going to talk about that. But if you do not have the Scentsy Connect app downloaded and you are not utilizing it, you are doing yourself a huge disservice, okay? It literally tells you what to do and who to message. And I'm talking to myself because I definitely have some, I definitely need to go on my app and check off some things, okay? The other thing, I think Chastity talked about it. You don't have to, I'm a big believer now that I'm a mom. I don't think that you have to work this business every single day, okay? Especially if you're a hobbyist. But my newest thing, and I've always worked in increments.
Yet you're okay with encouraging people to talk to everybody in line at the grocery store, at Home Goods, at the fucking pharmacy, anywhere they are, about Scentsy. But you don't work your business every day. Ma'am, I have several seats.
Worked for the first 2 years of my business. I was a full-time registered nurse, okay? I literally worked with a timer on my phone, and I've had to bring out my timer since I became a mom because my brain is so sporadic that, first of all, I forget everything these days. I could be in the middle of a task and forget what the heck I'm doing. It's really wild. Maybe I should be medicated. I don't really know, but we're just working through it. But I don't believe that you have to work this business every single day. But you do, however, have to focus on IPAs, income producing activities, okay? So getting your sales, growing your team, and being consistent, training as well, okay? If you're going to have a team, training. But I have broke out my timer and I work in increments now. So when my baby naps, I literally tell myself, okay, Rachel, for the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however much time I have, you are going to do follow-ups. You're going to get on your Scentsy Connect app, which is what I have planned tomorrow, and you are going to follow up with your customers. And my goal, I always give myself a PRV goal if I'm doing some type of follow-ups, okay?
I have a question for you though, ma'am. When do you have time to watch Love Island? How would that work? I'm sorry. Brinity for life. I'm so happy they won. Anyway, back to it.
My PRV goal, I'm leaving for Mexico on Monday. My sales are at 800 right now. No, I want them to be at $2,000 before I leave on Sunday. So $2,000, 2,000 before I leave on Sunday. So that's my goal tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tuesday and Wednesday is to sit down and follow up until I hit 2,000 in sales. Okay. So give yourself a goal and that's how you work towards it. And even if you feel like you have like hit a hard stop with, let's say that your goal is 500 and you feel like you just got 300 in sales. You still have 200 to go to hit your goal, right? And you feel like you hit a hard stop because you've already messaged like all of your main customers. That's when things get hard and that's when you're going to step out of your comfort zone, okay? You're going to sit down and you're going to figure out how the heck do I get another $200 in sales, okay? You can ask people for referrals. You can ask people, hey, you can ask people to do a party. Parties are not dead, okay? I promise you, if you want to see fast success, focus on parties, like really hone in, double down on parties, your customer base will blow up. Yes, it might be hard to get some books, but once you get going and you get in a rhythm and you find what works for you, your customer base will be booming.
Why is it so dark in here?
Even daylight is like, shut up.
I promise you, parties are the reason I am home with my child right now, because I doubled down for the first 2 years of my business working full-time as a nurse and was able to replace my nursing income, quit my nursing job, do Scentsy full-time, and I've been doing Scentsy for 6.5 years now, full-time, okay? If it wasn't for me doubling down on parties, my goal in the first 2 years of my business was 8 to 10 parties a month. Not because 8 to 10 parties was going to be successful, but because I had a cushion of what I could fall back on if those parties, if some of my parties didn't qualify, okay? So come up with a plan, come up with goals. You guys can do it. Your mindset truly is everything. And you know what? If you are somebody that, you feel like you shift more towards a negative mindset, there's nothing wrong with you. I just want to say that. But if you feel like you are somebody that shifts that way in the negative sense, what helps tremendously, take some sticky notes, write down some positive affirmations, okay? And put them wherever you see, like on places where you see multiple times a day. So on your fridge, on your car dashboard, if you have to, on your phone screen, put them in on the mirror in your bathroom when you wake up, and repeat them things to yourself until you start believing it. You can train your brain, okay? You can train your brain. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna pass the mic to Whitney.
Hello, hello. I don't even know if I can spotlight myself. Sorry I didn't spotlight you, Jess. I wasn't being a good host. Okay. I am going to finish us up tonight. Want to, again, thank everyone who is on live and tuning in. Happy to see some brand new people on here. Some people who've been here a long time still showing up. I love to see it too. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is consistency with emails. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm specifically talking about emails tonight. But a lot of what I'm talking about with emails can go to a lot of different things in your business. We know that consistency is the most important thing in your business. Whatever you do, you need to do it consistently. So consistency with emails, consistency is going to build that trust. People are more likely to buy from someone that they hear from regularly, right? So when your emails are showing up consistently, you're going to stay in the top of their mind. Customers shouldn't only hear from you when there's a flash sale or when there's a big promotion or when there's something that you specifically want to share.
Show of hands. How many of you have brands that are sending you emails daily that you either delete or just completely ignore? Me, and I don't unsubscribe because I'm too lazy or I have better things to do. I want to do different things with my time. So I just let them show up and I delete them without ever even opening them. I wonder how many people get Scentsy emails that do the same thing. Also, it's a fun fact that I do get Scentsy promotional emails as well because of all the times that I have gone to the website and filled things out for research in my videos. So that's fun.
I will say that Scentsy is always putting out information, arguably too much information, too much new stuff. If that's your choice, we got to change that mindset, right? Because you don't have to share everything. But there is always something to share in Scentsy land. They have always been very, very good about that. But being consistent with it and sharing something consistently in the business. Most people don't buy the first time they see something. We've said this a lot, but life gets busy. Scentsy is not on the top of their mind like it is for us or for you. Many customers intend to order and they forget. They've got so much going on that their Scentsy order is not the most important thing in their life right now, right? Do they need the Scentsy? Yes, but they may need a reminder or 5.
A reminder or 5. Nobody needs 5 reminders to order candle wax. At that point, they probably already went to Walmart or Target or Yankee Candle and got wax from there because it's easier and the instant gratification is there.
Okay, if they need it. I have customers who are like, if I haven't ordered by this time, I want you to message me. And I'll message them and they still won't order. So then again, I'll follow up with them and say, hey, just want to check in. They'll be like, oh my gosh, Whitney, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot, right? And sometimes that goes on more than I'm like, are they being for real? Like, are they what's going on. But no, they really just genuinely, it's not on the top of their to-do list, right?
Yes, they definitely need somebody pestering them to order more candles. That is absolutely what we need in our day-to-day life, where we're trying to keep our eyes above water right now in this world. Yep. Sure. They're so out of touch with reality in these multi-level marketing companies because they're in a bubble of culture.
Consistent emails are going to provide those gentle reminders without requiring you to personally follow up to everyone. Okay, right? So you're going to be able to reach a lot of people with customers. So mass communication. You're sending one email and it's reaching hundreds to thousands of people at once. That consistency is always going to beat your perfection. A lot of times people let the perfection of an email stop them from sending it. We ain't doing that. Okay. A simple email sent every week is better than waiting for that perfect email. Okay. Some people are going to say shorter is better. Oh gosh, people are in the white room. I can't do two things at once. Okay. Some people are going to say shorter is better. Some people are going to say longer is better. Some are going to say you need to be more personable.
Does size matter? I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm getting bored. We're 47 minutes into this training.
Throw it out the window. What I want you to do is I just want you to just send an email consistently, even if it's just covering one product, one announcement, one thing, okay? A simple email, like I said, every week is going to be better than never sending the email, okay? Don't overthink your subject lines. Don't overthink your graphics. Don't overthink your wording. That's something that in time that you can change and you can perfect and you can figure out what's working and what's not. But don't let that stop you from doing it. Progress is going to come from showing up consistently, okay? Emails work while you're busy living your life, okay? So I will say, if I don't get anything else done, I make sure I send my email. It's kind of the same thing with my team email. I send an email every single week to my entire downline. It is something that people thrive on, and it's for others, it's something they don't ever look at. But guess what? It's there if they need it, okay? My open rate for that and for my customer email is really, really, really good because it's consistent. Okay.
Very, very, very consistent. What's the percentage, baby? Give us percentages. Give us numbers. Where's the proof? How do we know you're not making that up? I could tell you that my watch time is very amazing, but without proof, how can you believe me? How can anybody believe me?
Sometimes it's supposed to be every Monday. Sometimes it doesn't happen until Tuesday. It's a Monday momentum email on Tuesday, and guess what? It'll be okay because it's still there. Still there. Let's see. I'm checking my notes. Emails work while you're busy living life. So they're going to continue working while you're sleeping or while you're at your kids' activity or if you're on vacation or if you're working your other job, right? Just because you send it that moment, people aren't always going to be able to check it right away. But maybe one night they can't sleep and they're checking up on emails and they're cleaning out their inbox. They're going to eventually see it. Sometimes they're never going to open it. That's okay too. Okay. And this is kind of where it comes, or not kind of, but this is where it comes in really important that you are putting your customers' information in your workstation. If you're not.
Fun fact, if you're encouraging people to send emails and these individuals are seeking out a third-party email service, they charge. Usually it's a bundle for however many people you have on your list. So like they charge you for your list. You have to pay to house that list on a third-party email source. Is that the right word? I don't know. So if these people want to have a larger platform, a larger email list, they're going to have to pay for it. And at the point that people aren't opening their emails, it's not okay because now they're throwing money away on the people that are not opening the emails. But it's just supposed to be, that's okay. Not really. No.
Putting the customer's information in your workstation, you're not going to have anybody to email. I don't let anyone order from me, from my stock, from me personally, from Marketplace, obviously parties, anything without giving me their email address. I need their name, first and last name, and their email address. And that is bare minimum for our workstation anyways.
Wow. You're not even allowed to order from her unless you give her your email address. They hold you hostage in multi-level marketing companies. They hold your information hostage.
But I am always going to ask for that. Even people who don't buy from me on Marketplace, I ask them to join my VIP group and I ask for their email address. Okay. It's not going to hurt to ask. But they allow you to, like I said, reach multiple people at once. Emails help you stay relevant, not just promotional. Okay. So mix in different types of emails. new products, obviously, personal stories, seasonal tips, customer favorites. People love seeing what other people are ordering, host and join opportunities, product education, scent recommendations. Okay, it doesn't always. You can even have sections in your email. Maybe you want to do one new release, one tip, and what people are ordering. Maybe those are your 3 sections of your weekly email. That can be put together within probably 15 minutes and sent. Okay, that's 15 minutes a week on an email. Okay. Consistency creates habits. So just as you want customers to think of Scentsy, you want emailing to be a part of your routine that you're doing. And pick a schedule that you can maintain. I have said weekly multiple times just because that's what I do. You can do every other week. You could do a specific day of the month. Whatever works for you. Again, the most important thing is that you're being consistent with it. Every email has a purpose. Not every email needs to generate an immediate sale. Some emails are just going to build that relationship, right? Especially, I always like to put something personal in every single email I write. Here lately, it's been a lot about us moving, about us getting settled. Today, the customer email talked about how we're 1 week out from Mexico. It's building that relationship, right? When I left Tennessee, I kind of put in a sad memo about leaving, and I got a lot of messages back about how they were going to miss that I was going to be local, and what are they going to do? How are they going to smell the smells? All the things, right?
Is this what we're doing? Is this what companies are doing? They're sending emails about moving that have nothing to do with the product that the person is buying? This is so self-centered. Did I miss something? Why are we doing this? You're selling candles. I don't understand. I cannot wrap my head around how this level of communication has to happen for somebody to buy wax and candles.
That's building that relationship with them through an email. It's going to increase engagement, it's going to educate customers, and it's going to keep your name at the top of their inbox so they remember who to shop with when they're ready. My time check is coming up, so if I do go black, I will come back. That does run. Let's see.
Oh boy, that was awkward. That was awkward. They could have cut that. YouTube allows you to cut things from your video. They could have cut that. Yep.
Consistency isn't necessarily about sending more emails. It's about showing up often enough that your customers don't forget they're there. Again, this can relate to so many other things in your business: social media, stories, emails, follow-ups, all those things. So I urge everyone, if you're not already, to start sending emails, start sending them consistently, and do it in a way that you can do it consistently, right? Your emails don't need to be 4 to 5 pages long. Sometimes mine end up being, because there's just so much and I'm like, I don't want to not put anything in there, right? The last thing I'll say about emails, and I am sure the other SSDs are happy to share theirs. Mine personally, my weekly email is, I have it in a Google Drive and in a Word document. And it stays in that Word document, and it is updated weekly, okay? It is pinned to the top of our team page. So if at any time you want to send an email and you're like, I don't even know what to say, go into the drive, copy it, paste it into a new Google Doc, and then make it your own, okay?
Copy paste, just replace a few words and call it good. What matrix is this? How did we get here?
Yes, I know Ray uses boards and she updates hers. If you want to see mine and you're not my team, just send me a message. I'm more than happy to share that. But that's a system. That Google Doc is the system that I use to where I'm like, okay, I have a new product here, I'm going to replace it with a new product. I have a tip here, I'm going to replace it with a tip. Same thing for my team email. If you're a leader and you want to start sending emails to your team, it is the same thing. I have it in a doc, and then I go in each week and update it, okay? Yes. Okay. So the next thing we'll talk about is our current warmer incentive. We have our 4 Love of Warmers incentive going on, closing after this month. We have until the end of this month. Very quickly, you need 250 PRV. It's not 200. It's 250 PRV for March, April, May, and June, every single month. And then you need to sell at least 1 warmer from each category of the warmers. If you're not sure where you are, you can go to your incentives tab and check your progress. Go ahead and put in the comments if you've been active every month and maybe you're working on a warmer category, or maybe you just need to get active, whatever. If you earned it, yes, I love it. So put it in the comments where you're at, what you need. Active every month, need 2 more warmers, earned it, have 1 warmer to go, earned it, active and working on all categories, just need to inspire, I have to sell 1 warmer, working on June. Okay, love it. So we have a lot of people that are going to be closing that out this month.
How about just pay them? pay the consultants instead of giving them beach chairs and specialty warmers and all of those things. Just pay them.
I will say this is, we have different incentives with Scentsy, right? They just announced the 10-4. We have this one, we have trip incentives. This was an incentive that if you were here in March, regardless of your title, you can earn this. Okay. So if you have been consistently 250 PRV or more each of those months, and all you need is a warmer, or maybe you just need to get active, I'm going to give you some tips to do that. I want you to start with your end goal. So I want you to go to your incentives tab and I want you to write down exactly what you need to earn it, because you're going to get some pretty sweet prizes. I don't remember them all, but it's points towards the incentive trip, some Scentsy swag, and then if you're going to SFR, you get VIP seating for fireworks and a gift. I think those are the 3 things.
Oh, Scentsy swag. Wow, how special. Getting Scentsy swag for free is not the flex you think it is. You're just promoting Scentsy with their branded merchandise that you think is a gift. I guess it is a gift, but in a sense you paid for it.
If there's anything else, put it in the chat. But yeah, it's a lot for just doing our job, right? Like all incentives with Scentsy. But anyways.
You get a branded Scentsy tote for doing your job. I don't know what branded shit they get for this incentive, but I know in the past it's been like a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a beach chair, a cooler, a suitcase. All of these things have Scentsy's branding on them. So if and when you leave Scentsy, you still are branded with Scentsy.
Start with an end goal. So I want you to go to your incentives tab. I want you to write down exactly what you need to get it done. Know exactly which warmers you still need to sell to earn the incentive. That's going to be step 1. If you're not sure, we got to figure that out. We're not going to try and promote every single warmer at once. We're going to focus our attention on the specific warmers that we need or that you need to earn it, okay? And I'm going to say feature 1 warmer at a time. Give each warmer its own spotlight. If you're not sure exactly which warmers are included in it, go to your website, go to warmers, click on all warmers, and then at the top of it, it's going to have each category. You can go to each category and click it, and it's going to bring up all the warmers in that count towards it, okay? There's also lots of flyers out there. I'm sure everyone has those on their team page with which warmers you need to share or what counts for what. And there's my limit. Hi, I'm back. Am I back? Yes?
You didn't go anywhere.
Was I ever gone?
You were never gone.
I wasn't gone.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I had to clear out my time because it went to a white screen. Okay. Where was I? Focus your attention on the specific warmers that you need, and then give each warmer its own spotlight. Share photos in different rooms of your home. Show it turned on, show it turned off. Talk about who would love it and where it would fit. Here's the thing. A lot of y'all aren't going to have the warmers on hand that you need to sell. Shocker, right? But we live in 2026. And I even tried this right before I got on because I was like, I want to see what comes up. I went on ChatGPT and I used the tulips warmer because I feel like that one is pretty specific.
More promotion of AI usage. What is she about to do? I have to brace myself. You should also brace yourself, I feel like. You ready? Let's go.
And I uploaded the photo of the warmer by itself and said, put this warmer in 4 different decor rooms. And it gave me 4 different photos and they kind of all look the same. So I asked to give me 4 more different decor choices and it wasn't different enough. So I said they all still look very similar. And it came back with this. And it gave me a real life photo with the picture of the warmer in it. Okay.
Baby, that's not a real life photo. That's an AI generated photo, not a real life photo. We're in an episode of Black Mirror, I fear. The fact that humans are actually believing that AI is giving you a real life photo is a problem. That is an AI generated photo, not a real life photo. Now she's going to encourage you to use it on your Facebook, and I'm going to throw up if that's true. I'm not really, but I'll want to.
Okay, that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do, take ChatGPT, take a picture of maybe a warmer that you really love, or maybe you personally want. Take a picture of the place in your house where you want to put it, and tell ChatGPT, put this warmer in this space. Okay, and they will know. They won't know that it's not at your house, okay?
They will, however. They will. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but as I scroll through like Facebook is what I noticed it on last week. It tells you when something's AI generated. So now when you see all of those copy paste for every business in every world that exists, currently they have the same flyer. Every single one of those posts with that flyer that we've all seen at this point, it has AI information. Like there's a little fine print underneath. I'll try and find something and screenshot it and put it here so you can see what I'm talking about. But it says like AI info. And if it has that, it's letting you know that something in that post, something within that post has been AI generated. And AI, the algorithm of Facebook, can recognize AI. So it lets us know. We will know.
There's so many things that you can do to highlight those warmers. You can even take that warmer and take a picture of yourself pointing, or have your hand out and then put the warmer without the background in your hand, or where you're pointing to it, or put yourself in the warmer. Maybe you're the wax. I don't know. Get creative with the warmers that you want to highlight.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. And if you do want to do that, talk to a graphic designer with the know-how of how to do it without using AI. Don't use generative AI unless you want to contribute to the decline of humanity and plagiarism. I don't know how else to word it anymore.
Don't just post the stock photos. Go on Google, go on Pinterest, even go on Facebook, put the name of the warmer in and find some real life photos. Yes, Pinterest is my go-to personally. You always want to do the real life photo. And again,
a real life photo, a real life photo. We are now saying that AI generated photos are real life photos, and they're simply not.
Again, just focus on one warmer a day. One warmer a day. But you want to tell the story behind the warmer. People connect with stories more than they do necessarily features. So why do you personally love the warmer? What room would you put it in? What kind of customers does it remind you of? What mood or style does it create? If you're not sure, upload it in ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT those questions. What kind of customer would love this warmer? Okay. And then you're going to prospect and connect with those people and say, this warmer made me think of you. I know you love this, this, and this. This is something that I think you would enjoy. So like I said, warmer of the day content. That's where we're going to do our Facebook posts, stories, TikToks, reels, emails, YouTube, all of those things. If you focus on one warmer a day, say you need one or two, or even if you need all four, you could do a warmer of the day for half a week and cover a decent amount of warmers, okay? Keep bringing attention to the warmers you need without making every post sound like a sales pitch, okay? Because if you're saying things like, who wants this warmer? Or who can I put down for an order? Or what can I get you? All of that is very salesy jargon. Instead, try saying something like, if your home is farmhouse, this warmer was made for you. Or if you love coastal decor, you need to see this one. Make it more about what would match their personality and what they would connect with instead of sales, right? I will say that letting your customers know that you're super close to earning an incentive and you have to sell this or this, that's okay too, in my personal opinion.
Yes, commence begging.
Everyone may not agree with that, but if it's coming down to the wire and you're like, I just need to sell one more warmer from this category, letting your customers know that you're working towards it and that's why you're sharing this look so much, right?
Yes, please donate to my fundraiser. All right, yeah, again, my battery is about to die. I'll order new ones today. But she just basically recapped everything that we already listened to and then ended the call, so we don't have to stretch this battery until it explodes. But yeah, Scentsy still sucks in my opinion, allegedly. And opinions are much like assholes. We all have one. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit, and I will see you in the next one.